Who will become the next scoundrel known as Han Solo? Hey, what's good, comic fans? This is Confire Rich, and we're here to talk about the Han Solo shortlist. They have brought out a list of actors that have been dwindled down who could play the next Han Solo. Like I said, I'm Confire Rich.
I'm Confire Nate, and yeah, we're gonna talk about a couple of these guys. Some of the names probably people you've never heard of. There's some of them are people I've never heard of, and more than likely, some of these names are going to stand out to you. But do you think they can really play Han Solo? That's what we're going to talk about. Rich, why don't you tell us who we're talking about here?
First up, we've got Miles Teller. You may recognize him from Fantastic Four or Whiplash. Now, don't hold his Fantastic Four credentials against him, but Whiplash, he's phenomenal. This dude is a great actor. Moving on from that, we've got Ansel Elgort, which is in Fault in Our Stars. Then we've got Dave Franco, who was in 21 Jump Street and Now You See Me. Jack Reynor, which was I think he was the boyfriend in Transformers. He was in Transformers Age of Extinction. Nate, I think you were saying before that he was the boyfriend, and I think you're right. Scott Eastwood, he was in The Longest Ride. This is the one movie I think that he was a lead in. He was in some other stuff as well, but that's Clint Eastwood's son, if you can't tell. It looks just like him. Logan Lerman, which is in Fury and Percy Jackson. He really impressed me in Fury, and we'll get on to him in a minute. And then Emory Cohen, which is in Brooklyn. And then we've got Blake Jenner, who I guess he was mostly known in Glee. I've never heard of this guy, but apparently he's married to Supergirl, so I give him props for that.
Yeah, apparently the only thing else I know about him is that he is going to actually have a small role in Supergirl coming up. So
yeah,
that's all I know about him.
Well, Nate, you've seen this list. Like you said, there's some people that I'm not familiar with some of these names and some of them that I are, but it's very well possible that one of these lucky guys will be our new Han Solo.
First off, I don't know. There's a couple things. I'm not sure if getting a known actor to play this part is the best route to go. But at the same time, you need someone that can play this part. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying let's go dig up some no name to play this part. You need someone who can act, who can play the role, play Han Solo, but without dipping too far into literally just mimicking Harrison Ford's character.
Mm-hmm.
You actually need someone who can play the part. As far as like the list, the idea of Miles Teller isn't a bad idea. There's just a couple things. Like you said, Miles Teller's a really good actor. He would do a good job as an actor. I don't think he looks the part. Every movie Miles Teller is in, he looks the same. He has the same haircut, and he has the same face. So unless they're going to find a way to make Miles Teller not look like a 12-year-old.
Not look like Miles Teller.
Then I don't know how he's going to fit this part. I mean, if he's allowed to have a haircut and maybe dirty him up a little bit, I mean, he just looks too clean. I don't see him playing this part. But that doesn't mean that he wouldn't do a good job as an actor. The other people, the guy from Fault, what's his name? Ansel Elgort.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Fault of Your Stars. He was in Divergent series. I think he was the brother.
Yeah, he was in that. That's because I was trying to think. I was like, I haven't seen Fault in Our Stars. I've heard a whole lot about it being really good. I haven't got around to watching it yet. But yes, he was the brother in the Divergent series.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could play the part. I mean, he could look the part more, and he has acting chops, so I think he could do a good job. Again, I don't know if he just doesn't have that like swagger to him, doesn't have that kind of like.
I think that's going to be the key. The list here, a lot of these dudes that I am familiar with, they are great actors, right? So yeah, they could play the part. They're professional actors and they're really good at what they do. Right. The hard part is not comparing them to Harrison Ford, which is going to be next to impossible, at least for this first movie, is not only acting the part, but being able to capture that same magic and that that old scoundrel look that Harrison Ford was able to do. And it's like, is it going to be hard for these guys to capture that, have that X factor, if you will, that Harrison Ford brought to that character?
You need that kind of bad guy swagger, okay? And I'm not saying that you can't. These professional actors can't figure out a way to come about to make that happen. I just, based on what I've seen from most of them up to this point, I really haven't seen any of that. The only character who completely oozes bad guy kind of like swagger is Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood. But the dude is like almost 30. I know the interesting thing, if you look at the list is all people in that 20 to 25 range, and he's almost 30. He's the only one that's at that list. So I kind of have that feeling like they picked him because they were like, man, this guy's oozing swagger. Let's see what, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what he can do. But if he's, the age that he would be, he's actually the age that Han Solo is in the original movies. They want a young Han Solo. So
he's the one that looks like, physically he could play the part. Again, I don't know about enough about his acting, or whatnot, but he looks like he's got that bad boy look, like you were saying. Dave Franco, Snap on Collider Movie Talk, and I heard him talking about it. He was saying he's got the charisma, he's got the charm. And if you've seen him, like I've seen him in Catch Me If You Can, or I've seen him in other movies, he's kind of got that, that lighthearted, I don't care, slight humor to him, but he could pull it off. So as far as the mentality goes for that character,
right? I mean, yeah, he has that. I mean, again, I just think maybe he's a little bit too far on the comedic spectrum to really fill that role. That plus he has two giant furry worms growing on top of his eyes that really doesn't look the part. So again, it's a looking thing and kind of stuff. So I'm not entirely sure if he'll fit the part. And I'm not saying, again, whoever they pick, at first we might be like, this was awful, I don't like this pick. And then they go off and do the movie and we're like, man, that was a great pick.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
I'm assuming
us as fans, we're going to have opinions no matter what. So of all these characters, honestly, my opinion from every list of the list that we got, I know they said that they got it down to about a dozen. They named this list, but the way they made it lead is like there was other few people that weren't on this list. I'm kind of interested to know who these people are because this list doesn't impress me. I'm not excited about this list.
I think this is the list you're going to have to deal with, though. There's not going to be a list out there that impresses you. I don't think they're going to cast a superstar caliber person like a Chris Pratt or a Bradley Cooper or something like that.
I don't want that. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I don't want that type of character to be cast. I feel like each one of these people offer a part that they could play of Han, but none of them has the full package. You know
I think they do. We just haven't seen it yet. Logan Lerman, I really like this kid. Like, he impressed me a lot in Fury. I think his range would be great, and he's not so known superstar power that it would take people out of the movie to see him or anything like that. Right. He still looks really young too. You want a rugged looking young man to play this role. But that's pretty much the list. I do want to spend a second, and I want to address this Anthony Igruber, I think his name is. Basically, he's an impressionist. He does impressions of Harrison Ford. He has done an impression of Harrison Ford being Han Solo, where he was just talking about, it was like the scene in the bar, basically, when he was acting like him.
Yeah, he's done a couple impressions. The dude is fantastic. He's a great impressionist, and it was funny because he actually was able to get a job playing a young Harrison Ford in a movie, Age of
Adeline.
Adeline, yeah. I didn't see it. I couldn't tell you. That's not really my type of movie to watch. But I've seen him talk. Now, one thing I thought was interesting, he was doing an interview and he was saying how, they were really good with him because he's not really as big. He's not a trained actor. I mean, he's done some acting, so he doesn't have that ability to be a huge actor, but he does these impressions. So they were able to work with him. If they wanted to step in and be like, hey, listen, we want a guy who really plays his part, but we know we're going to have to really work with him a little bit more because he's not as much of a trained actor as some of these names. he could fit that part, but that could be the reason why he doesn't get the part. Just for the simple
he's not going to get the part. I don't even think people have been saying, look, I've been in YouTube comments and everything I've read. People keep talking about this dude. Oh, this dude, he looks just like Harrison Ford. He sounds just like Harrison Ford. This guy should get it. That doesn't make
right.
A Han Solo, right? That's not what makes Han Solo. You don't want somebody who's just going to completely copy everything that Harrison Ford did. And just because he can do a great impression of him doesn't mean he's a great actor. He's acted in one movie, and that's just because he could do an impression. It's not like he's had training or anything like that.
His vocal and the part that I was impressed with more than just the way he can make himself sound like him is literally his facial presence. I mean, the way he smiles at the right time, those kind of like smirks. He looks just like Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
and it's crazy,
he could be his son. He might be his son. He just don't realize it yet.
And not to say that they haven't gone out and decided. I mean, there have been times, and I'll bring up a point right now where, let's say, for example, Jamie Foxx. Before Jamie Foxx was in a lot of movies, Jamie Foxx was a comedian, and Jamie Foxx did an unbelievable impersonation of Ray Charles. And I remember watching him do Ray Charles, and I remember laughing my butt off. Before they did a movie about it, he got the part. He played it. He won an Oscar. Okay, so let's not say that that's out of the realm.
That's out of the realm of possibility because you're talking about somebody who had been in show business forever. You know, being able to hold an audience.
Saying, like, he was able to do that, and there are times when people are able to do that. I don't believe they're doing this. I'm trying to give people hope. I have absolutely 0% chance I think that this guy's getting the part. I mean, that's me. I think you agree with me. I don't think he's getting the part. Would I like to see him get the part? I think he could do a good job, but
I don't want to see him get the part because this is Han Solo. He's not going to just pop up for a 15-minute scene. You need somebody who can carry an entire film. And before you say, "Oh, Ray, Daisy Ridley's never been in anything," and Vince Boyega,
they were actors. They
were actors. Exactly. Daisy Ridley had been in like a performance arts school from the age 9 up to 18, right? So they had at least had some training and experience. And I'm not saying anything bad about this guy. He might turn into this guy one day. If he has a passion for it, he might progress into somebody who can carry a film. Right now, I don't think that he can, and I don't think they're going to trust a character of that clout.
Let me ask this question. This is for people who are watching this. Would you rather have a person who maybe is not as known, kind of like Daisy Ridley or John Boyega, someone like that to come in to play this role, or do you think the studio's pushing to have someone who's already named because they need someone they feel like to carry this film? I, as a Star Wars fan, think no matter who they put as the lead, this film's going to do good because of what it is. I feel like they have the strength to cast an unknown name to play this part, and I actually think I would be more excited to see an unknown person play this part than somebody I've already seen in other things. Oh, I want to know what your opinions are on that. I mean, do you agree, or do you want to see one of these particular people we've listed?
It's gonna be one of these people. Here's the ironic part is, these guys to your majority movie-going audience are gonna be no names. They're gonna see him and they're gonna be like, oh, I think I remember seeing this guy somewhere. Like, even for me, I go to movies a lot, and a lot of these names would have been like, there would have been maybe familiarities to me, but these guys are as close to, because I can tell you what they are going to do. They are going to cast talent. And so let's not discrepancy between somebody who's new and not talented or somebody who's like an unknown and talented. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people saying about this Anthony Igruber, I don't believe he has the talent acting-wise to carry this movie.
Yeah,
and so before you say no name, he's a no name. No, he's not. I don't think he's talented enough.
He's not just a no name. He's not
an actor.
He's not an actor. So let's say it basically comes down to probably someone on this list, unless someone comes out of nowhere that we never heard of to get cast for this part. I'm not saying it will, because I remember seeing a long list of people to play certain parts in the past, especially this far into before they started a movie, and not one of them get it. So I'm not saying for 100%, but me personally, what I would like to see a no-name who has acting talent, kind of like Daisy Ridley or John Boyega, to play this part. Someone new, someone we can enjoy seeing on the screen. and not one of these other people that I've already seen on screen.
Right.
And that's just me.
So that we can't compare them. So they're just kind of like, oh, that's that person that was doing this or that. Like, you
Right.
take
I
this
don't.
person for what they are. This is the first time I'm really seeing them. This is now their role, and they need to be able to bring their own element to the character Han Solo and not just mimic everything that he did. They've got to bring their own charm, their own personality to this character. But pretty much, guys, that's the video. Let us know what you think about this list. Who do you want to see play Han Solo? Get down in the comment section below and let us know. Till next time, man. We out.
See ya.